and I am a commodity currency trader. So today being the 4th of April 2024, I'll be starting now looking at AUD/USD and then NZD/USD, and then rounding it up with USD CAD. All right. So for the AUD/USD weekly time frame, we still see. So we're still very much bearish on AUD/USD weekly time frame trend. We're looking at the trend on the weekly time frame. Our bearishness is still in play, right? So for us to see if our bias has changed to the bull moves we saw yesterday, we want to wait to see if AUD/USD breaks above this level. So if it trades above here and then breaks and retests, then we know that we're fully bullish on the weekly time frame. But if AUD/USD continues to sell and trades all the way to break below this level, then we know that our bearish bias is still very much in play, right? Now, straight to the daily time frame. Our daily time frame bearish bias as well is still in play, right? Because we have this high has not been broken. So this could just be a lower high that is being formed that will then eventually form a lower low. So until it is broken, our weekly and our daily time frame are still bearish. But then you go on the 4-hour time frame, and what do you see here? Bull moves. This level was broken. If you know market structure, for those of you who know market structure, you know lower high, lower low. It was supposed to form a lower high and then a lower low, but it broke above it. So for the 4-hour time frame, we are currently bullish. So what are we expecting AUD/USD to do on? I think I might have to remove this mask so I can talk properly. What are we going to do? What are we expecting on the 4-hour time frame? We are looking at AUD/USD pulling back because the market does not move in just highs. It's always lower high, lower low, higher highs, and higher low. So we're looking at AUD/USD pulling back to give us some sort of retracement before we now attempt to continue buying AUD/USD to the upside. So where is the probable entry or the probable retest level for this guy? Now we cannot draw a fib on this swing because we do not see any pullback yet, right? There is no pullback yet. But when we do see a pullback, we'll be looking at the premium level being the 50 or the 61.8% fib levels on our Fibonacci swing for us to now continue buying AUD/USD. Now remember, price is fractal, right? So even if our daily and our weekly time frame are currently bearish, we see the force with which AUD/USD is moving to the upside, right? So we're going to be marking for a retracement and attempting to continue buying AUD/USD to the upside to break up the level that we marked up right here. If I'm too fast, let me know. Right, so we're going to be buying AUD/USD for it to trade all the way above here, break this level, and just continue the buy movements. I cannot draw a Fibonacci swing right now, as earlier stated, because we do not have a pullback yet. So what are we going to be doing on AUD/USD right now? We're going to be looking out for pullbacks. When we start seeing the pullback formation, then we'll draw our swing, and this will be it to be right from point A to wherever the pullback starts to happen from, okay? So in case we're not on the chart by that time, this is what we're looking at. When we see that, we're going to be looking for a premium level, 50 to 61.8% fib level, and then we're going to continue buying AUD/USD to the upside. Is that clear? Is that clear? Let me know. Leave a fire emoji if that is clear. So when AUD/USD breaks above this level, where is the next probable area we're seeing it go to? On the daily time frame, we have a fair value gap here. So this might to break above here and then most likely trade all the way into this level. Now there is some sort of bearish bias as well that we could be looking at. If this, because this on the weekend and daily time frame was still, bearish, right? So if the bearish move continues, this is the level that we're looking at AUD/USD trading into, but I am more bullish on AUD/USD than bearish right now, right? I am more bullish than bearish. So we're going to be looking at the charts and flowing along with what the market is doing. And if there is any change, of course, we're going to be looking at it during the New York session by 3 p.m. So endeavor you do not miss that session, all right? And for those of us who are in our TDA Plus group, of course, you're going to be getting the first-hand information of every move we decide to make in the market. So if you're not in that group yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Okay, so we have AUD/USD on lockdown. Let's look at NZD/USD. Pretty similar to its cousin AUD/USD. Pretty much similar. We're still bearish on the weekly time frame. The same thing we see on the daily time frame. Then we'll go to the 4-hour time frame and we'll see that we are more bullish, right? Our swing has broken this level, it has broken this level. But pay attention though, NZD/USD is currently inside a fair value gap. It is currently inside a fair value gap. So we should be seeing our pullback on NZD/USD anytime soon. When we start to see our pullback, something like this, then we are going to flip the entire swing and wait for premium levels. The Fibonacci swing helps us to easily calculate premium levels where we want to enter the market from. So instead of saying, okay, has it sold enough, has it bought enough for me to make whatever decision I want to make in the market, Fibonacci is your guy. Helps it, makes it easier. So that's basically it for the tool. We're going to be sitting on our hands and waiting for pullbacks for this session, sitting on our hands, waiting for pullbacks on AU and NU for us to continue the buying move to the upside. All right. Okay, so I believe that's clear enough. Quickly look at USD card. Now, for those of you who joined our analysis last week, you remember that this USD card trade was taken from the 2-hour time frame using basic market structure. This sell had been selling and we analyzed it together, foresaw it and followed it, right? Now let's do a quick analysis. USD card, now it has been in some sort of range because we have equal highs that are still here. Sorry about that, I'm just going to quickly draw this. So we've been seeing equal highs and equal lows being formed, right? But following our most recent swing, we see that price is selling based off the most recent swing premium level, which happens to be the 61.8% fib level. This is where we're seeing the sell from. If you now go to the daily time frame, you clearly see the resistance level, which USD card had been respecting. So USD card, I believe USD card is going to sell and take out this level. I'm just going to quickly go to my 2-hour time frame before we come back here so you see what I'm talking about. I believe this guy is going to take out this level first, right? So he's going to sell all the way, take this level out before it now trades into a box structure, which we have on our daily time frame, right? Still very much, sorry about that. It's still very much in play. Our shoulder sweep of liquidity, a break below, a retracement into the other block right here on USD card, right? So it's going to take out this level, sell, take out this level, and then start to retrace into our shoulder pattern here, and then we're going to be slamming USD card down. But from where USD card currently is to where we expect USD card to trade into, it's about 190 something plus pips. So you know it's not anytime soon. Maybe next week, towards the ending of next week, then we could be seeing the box structure playing out vividly, right? But for now, we're still the sell buyers on USD card is still very much in play. It's about 40 to 50 pips away from where we expect it to then reverse from, right? Let's calculate that to be very certain of how many pips more we have. Yeah, so 40 to 50 pips thereabouts for USD card to sell before it now reverses into our box structure on the daily time frame. So keep those levels in mind. We already AUD/USD, NZD/USD already mentioned what we want to see. Pullback formation starting, we draw our fib, we wait for premium levels, 50, 61.8% fib level, and we continue to buy AUD/USD. USD card is already in play. So long term, what do we want to do on USD card? Following our daily time frame, we're going to look at USD card trading all the way into the shoulder pattern that we have on a daily time frame, and then we'll be selling USD card down. Pretty straightforward, guys. Pretty straightforward. Is this clear? Was this helpful? Let me know. So Damilola said, I want this knowledge to be able to analyze this good. How do I start? Pretty easy. We're going to drop our WhatsApp number in the chat box. It's 081 60 99 50 30. Send us a message on WhatsApp and we can get you started to teach you to be able to analyze the market very, very easily. Okay? So send a message to us and we'll get you started with the FS Bootcamp course. All right, so any questions, guys? If there are no questions, was this helpful? Dollar bill. So I'm going to assume you've not really joined our sessions regularly. You know that there are different people who come on board at different times to analyze different pairs. I am more of a commodity currency trader, so my analysis are more on AU and USD CAD. So when you see my colleague CJ, Cynthia on board, they are the guys, they're the right guys to analyze EU for you. All right, please don't lie. Quickly ask your question so we can proceed. For those of you in the group chats, I believe we all are in that group chat. Our class is going to be starting at 10 a.m. prompt. So ensure you are online. Link will be dropped in the Telegram group so you can join that training. People don't like, quickly ask a question, please. Can we draw fib in that D1 and H4 swing high to swing low to see where to pull back? Fibonacci applies to every time frame. You can draw your fib level on the 5-minute time frame if you want to. So it applies to every time frame. There is no limitation to where you can pull it back to. All right? Any more questions? 30 seconds. Any more questions? Okay. Can we draw fib in that D1 and H4 swing high to swing low to see where to pull back from? All right, let's see that. So this swing hasn't given us an entry for us to draw any kind of Fibonacci because there is no pullback. If you remember what I said on AU and NU, you have to see formation of pullbacks already starting before you then draw your swing. But if the move is already going and you're trying to get in, provided it has not oversold or overbought, there are a few things you can look at. Fibonacci being one, or a retracement into a fair value gap, right? But this particular trade has gone on for about based off where we entered from on now. Let's look at 1 hour time frame to be more clear. This has done over 60 pips. So for me, I'd rather wait for this entire analysis to already play out before I then decide to follow the other analysis which has not played out yet, which is the daily box structure we're seeing. So please, is this the box strategy class? The box strategy class will start at 10 a.m., Mr. David. Thank you, Moyo. It starts at 10 a.m. So we can quickly look at market milk to see what the currencies are currently doing. I'm pretty sure because of the bull moves we've been seeing, you'd see that AUD and NZUSD are all the way up. It should be strong on our weekly time frame. Sorry about that. It's loading. Let's give it time. Are we expecting USD to gain strength today for short term? Now, these are all dollar correlated pairs, right? So if we're saying that AUD/USD is going to be retracing, that means selling a bit to give us a move for us to then continue, then of course USD CAD is going to act, USD is going to act accordingly. Moyo, quickly ask a question, please. We're running out of time. Will Royce? What does Royce mean? Peeps don't lie. What do you mean by Royce? Oh, price. Okay. Hold on, get back to that. Let's quickly look at what market milk is doing. So you see how strong, okay, AUD, they're starting to retrace, I would say. AUD is still strong because it's among the, let's just wait for this guy to finish doing the up and down. Okay, so it's done loading. NZUSD and AUD are the strongest right now. Bro. I see what this chart, what market milk is doing. So it keeps rotating between, okay, it's still loading. It's still loading. Let's wait. Mr. Moyo, if my boss joins this meeting, you can ask that question. So let's wait and see if my boss joins the meeting, then you can ask him. It's online. All right, so my boss is going to be answering that for you shortly. Okay. What can I make one each? All right. Waiting for it to finish loading. You can see here, NZD and AUD are currently the strongest daily wise. They are the strongest, and you can see USD is currently weak. Okay, it's done loading. So NZD and AUD are currently the strongest performing pairs on Finviz daily time frame, and then our USD is weak, right? So you see, it correlates with what we've analyzed so far. So we will be waiting for pullbacks on these guys for us to then continue the bullish moves to the upside, and then we're going to be waiting for USD CAD to clear out that level that we have before we now start watching for the daily box strategy pattern to form out, and then we're going to be selling USD CAD. All right, we're going to be selling USD CAD. Was this helpful, guys? Was this helpful? Just leave a fire emoji in the chat box if it was helpful to you, please. All right, thank you, Moyo. More comments. Was it helpful? All right, great. Good to know. All right, thank you, Victor. Okay, so my colleague is going to be coming on board to take us through. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. Leche, or forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Is it Leke or Leche? I assume you joined this session late, so try to join early tomorrow. Right, you see, you already confessed yourself. So please try to join early tomorrow so you can follow us from top to bottom. It starts 8:30. Right now we need to go into indices analysis. Starting the analysis from the top is going to take more time. Remember, we have a training by 10 a.m. that we need to get ready for. So please tomorrow endeavor to join. Okay, network issues, that was out of your control, obviously. We're going to be dropping the link to this analysis on the Telegram group so you can have a replay. You can rewatch it after this session, all right? Thank you. All right, with that being said, I'm going to call on my colleague Demola Michael to come and analyze indices. Thank you so much for your attention. Sir, the link will be sent to the Telegram group. So just wait, be online to be sent there. All right, thank you.
Hmm? All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining. And straight, I'll be going into the analysis for the indices, right? I won't spend more time there. But before I go into analysis for indices, I'd like to show something we shared on the Zoom call that was on Tuesday, thereabout, on UNZD, right? About the trade call that we gave and then how it played out. We also even, maximize that trade call even yesterday and also got an entry for that particular pair, right? So I like to show us those in our um, plus group, that's the private community for the trade calls. It was also shared with them. The also they took part two of the trade call, yeah, right? On I think 1 hour thereabout. Now everything has been validated for us. At yesterday, it was a sweet buy. You remember our setup was still the same thing. You can see it. Just maximize 1:3, 1:3 RR, and then we left the pair. So from this pair alone, I'm glad I had the share today. Sure. That's the interesting thing about what's it called, trading, right? You are selling, you are buying, and we are both happy because we made money. On Tuesday we banked 3R on this guy here, 3RR. Why yesterday also we got 3RR from this same pair. So cumulative 6% up in terms of risks, right? In terms of risks to reward, cumulative on Tuesday 3R, on Wednesday, on Thursday, sorry, on Wednesday another 3R. So what did we see here? The same thing every time, everywhere. Market structure and liquidity. Once we see a sweep, then we expect price to take out that sweep and then continue in the direction of that initial move in the market. It's very pretty easy and simple, right? Got 3R from this guy, just tapped into our order and then picked us and then started moving to the upside. Yesterday we came back as early as 7:30 in the morning. I saw this long before coming to the floor. And I saw this appeared on the charts. Still the same thing again. What did we see? Price swept through this last structure point, the low we had, swept through this low again, making this a very strong low that we don't expect to be taken out. Right? We saw this happen again. This becomes a protected low. Remember, like I used to say, eventually price might come back to take everything out, which it did in this case. But then before it does that, we just want to get at least 1:2, 1:3 RR, right? And those are modest RR that we can aim for and target. And that's what we saw yesterday. I think this even did 1:3.5, but for me, I came out 1:3. I offloaded all my positions, and also on that group too, we all offloaded about 90% of our position and brought SL to break even. So if for any reason decide to come back to take us out, we are good because we've secured a very good percentage of our 1:5. Oh, 1:4 self. But no, I didn't stay up to this place. They said to be sincere, I didn't stay up to this place. I think I exited 1:2, yeah, somewhere around here. Somewhere around here, exited somewhere around here. So on Tuesday we got this. Wednesday we also got this. It's same principle, same model, same framework around the setup, right? We got this, made money, and then exited out of Euro NZD because we knew if I'd seen the same pattern again, say today, not pattern specifically, but the same framework of this setup, I would have still taken it. But then the moment I saw price not clearing, because here is our ultimate, TP that we're looking for price to clear. Assuming price cleared this structure point here, this liquidity point here. Interesting. I tell you, we are going to be flying to the upside, right? And I'll still look for the same, setup probably this morning, and I'm sure I'll have gotten one and then continue to the upside. But then price did not clear this point, which was our ultimate, point of exit for these two trades. But for the meantime, we came out as 1:3, even though price did 1:4 thereabout, yeah. And we also came out at 1:3, yeah, 1:3 point something, but then it's all good. So that's all about UNZD. And mind you, this trade was sent to both of the trade, right? Both the first and the second was sent to the private group. My colleague have earlier stated how I think it stated the process of how you should go about joining the group. You should find yourself in that group, right? Because that's where we share specific entry, exit, and point of take profit, right? So that's one thing you want to do. Quickly this morning, let's go into US30 and then see what we are looking at for US30. And yes. So we saw the sell on US30. Saw the sell on this US30. I didn't catch a single pick out of this entire move because I was focused on Euro NZD. It was already in play. It's a win is a win because the goal is to make money. Don't ask you which pair did you trade in the bank. So we saw price did this very interesting stuff. Like we said, US30, the indices, all of them, S&P 500 and NAS 100, they've been bullish for quite some time now. What we are expecting is to maximize every pullback we see, take it to the upside until start seeing a proper break of structure from each one, price creating multiple lower highs and lower lows to the downside. And until we see that with a lot of confirmation, we don't want to start selling with full margin, right? We don't want to bank on those sales, right? So one thing we are looking at is, I think it was on Tuesday, New York TDA by 3 p.m. We said we're expecting price to break this place and then wanted to see something like this. I think we had a part two drawn that day. We expected something like this and then break. We want to see a clear break of this level before we start selling to the downside. A clear break of this level before we start selling to the downside. And we've seen that happen already. However, price is beginning to retrace to the upside. Probably is going to feel some of the imbalances and inefficiency in price that has been created here and probably even above. But then if I see my entry pattern for a buy, I'll still enter a buy now because of the higher time frame bias that is supporting that buy. However, for a sell, I still want to see a clear break. I still want to see a clear break when it comes to things like indices and metal, things like gold. I don't want to take that chance on any of them because it can be very crazy in terms of volatility. Single candle can be as high as 100 pips. So I don't want to risk that to my account, right? So I want to see a proper break of structure to the downside. I've seen the first one, price broke through this support level and then the support on resistance. I want to see that begin to create multiple structure of lower highs and lower lows to the downside. Until I see that clearly formed, I'm not taking a sell. However, if I see the proper formation of my entry pattern, which I think we all know by now, I will start preparing to take that buy position, right? That'll be all for US30. I'm also waiting for some news on the fundamental to see which of that bias the news will support, right? I'm waiting to gather news for the buy position and also to look at if there's news supporting the sell. Of course, that will give me more confidence and more confidence to take any of the position, they buy or sell position in the market, right? Quickly at US 100, that's NAS, that's 100. Now, we also saw that break yesterday. Price ranging around this point for quite some time now, and then so it break to the downside, which is this guy. But I can't sell, right? Can't sell now because you had sold yesterday. Every single thing you sold has been taken back, right? You bought every single thing. So I'm very, very careful in this area of price. For now, I want to see a clear break of structure, a clear break of structure. If you are trending, let me know we are trending. If you are in a range, let me just stay out of the market and wait patiently. Let me check H4 if there's anything special on H4. Nothing special, just the price, retraced and then started buying from this other block. Yeah, right. This entire other block price tapped it and then started buying to the upside. Started buying to the upside, which is quite interesting, at least for US 100, right? Because it supports the higher time frame bias on for the buy, right? Technically speaking, and even some fundamentals are still backing the buy up because of the investors that are rushing to invest into AI startup and the rest like that, and also any reports from AI and client companies, right? That'll be all for US 100. I hope to see a clear price action for a buy. If I should see that, I think I want to enter, most especially my own kind of entry signature into the market. I just don't enter the market randomly. I want to see specific things happen. And unless those things happen, I can only have an area of interest. The price is going to move from here to this point and then start to move to another point. But my specific point of interest might not play out. And if I don't see that, I don't take any trade. I want to see it clearly before I put any risks on that trade. So that'll be all for US 30 and NAS 100. If you have any question as regards to US 30 and NAS 100, you can begin to ask in the chat box. If you have any question whatsoever as regards the analysis being made today, of course, you can begin to ask in the chat box. You can ask a question in the chat box. Meanwhile, when you're doing that, don't forget the instruction for you to be added to our community for the private, trading community where we have all the traders in house dropping their trade calls, right? Lekon, CJ, Cynthia, Abigail, and me, right? So if you've not yet been added to that community, you can as well follow the instruction that's been sent before, which is you register with our preferred broker and then, deposit with a minimum of say 500, 2,000, 3,000, as high as $20,000. And after you've done that, just send a proof of that fund to our Telegram. And in less than 3 to 5 minutes, somebody from the team is going to respond back to you and you'll be added to that community. Also, we want to be reminded as well this morning that our broad strategy training is coming up. Our broad strategy is coming up. If there's, in absence of no question, good morning, sir. I'll be calling on our boss for today's commentary from his side. Good morning, sir.
Hi, Demola. Good morning. Great job on the Euro NZD call.
Thank you, sir.
Great job. Some of the questions that some of the guys have been asking with regard to the sentiment on the dollar. So let's do it the way we normally do it. Let's go to Forex Live. Whenever we want to have an understanding of what is happening with fundamentals, let's go to forexlive.com. Demola, please take us there. forexlive.com. So you asked the question about yields. So we'll just look at forexlive.com and look out for the headlines that we believe are relevant to the question we're asking. The headlines you believe are relevant to the question you're asking. So ask your question again so everyone that is just following can see and see how we arrive at some sort of answers to this. All right? Now, when you're doing this kind of analysis, you need to understand that there are some basic concepts you should be familiar with. For example, rate hike, rate cut. rate hike, rate cut. Rate hike means that central bank is increasing interest rates, and typically that should make that currency more appealing and it should make the currency strengthen. Rate cut means that the central bank is reducing interest rates, and that should make that currency less attractive because they are offering lower interest. Okay? So now you're speaking about the dollar. So let's scroll through the headlines. You say 10-year dollar yields are increasing. So why is the dollar not strengthening in line with higher yields? So yields are increasing. Why is the dollar not strengthening? The first thing that we need to understand is it's not the yield of bond instruments that drives the market. It is interest rates as announced by the central bank. So interest rates announced by the central bank. Now, when it comes to bond yields, if you want to use bond yields as an indicator, you have to take note of the difference between the longer term yields and the shorter term yields. So you're looking at the 30-year for the longest term, and you're looking at the 5-year and 2-year treasury notes for the short term. Okay. So interest rate plus inflation, right? And real yield. Those are the most important things. Okay. So let's go through the headlines. Go up. So we want to look at what's happening with the US. Go all the way up, scroll all the way up. So let's look at the headlines. First thing is using value flow models on the daily time frame. I have realized that the dollar is ranging. The dollar is ranging. We'll look at the DXY index on the daily time frame, but the dollar is ranging. So let's scroll down and see what news is saying about the dollar, because your question is about the dollar. Your question is, why is the dollar not strengthening? Why is the dollar weakening? So let's go up. Let's go up. Now, what are the headlines we're seeing? We saw German PMI. We saw French PMI. We saw Eurozone PMI. All those three affect the Euro Purchasing Managers Index. That's affecting the Euro. So if we're asking about the Euro, we would look at those headline news. It's now saying sentiment is mixed across major asset classes at the start of the session. I'll open that because sentiment is indeed mixed. I will open that. All right. Then scroll down, Swiss CPI. Now, I may want to look at Swiss CPI news. Why? Last week, news came out on the SNB with regard to rate cuts. So the Swiss National Bank last week announced a rate cut, and that gave some sell-off to the Swiss franc. Now they are now seeing inflation. So I want to see what that will do with regard to CHF sell-off. Now see the other news is saying AUD and NZD is the strongest, while CHF and USD is the weakest. From a fundamental perspective, from a sentiment perspective, what is this telling us, please? AUD and NZD, they are what type of currency pairs? They are risk currency pairs. CHF and USD, what type of currency pairs are they? They are safe haven currency pairs. So this is telling me risk is increasing, flight to safety is decreasing. Risk on, risk is on. From that headline alone, risk is on today. Risk is on today. Those of you that trade equity indices, this headline is important for you because if risk is on now, we would expect strength in the equities. And if this continues into the New York session, we expect strength in the equities market because risk is on. But let's go back. It's dollar we're looking at. Scroll up, scroll up. I want to see if there's any other dollar news. Okay. Intervention unlikely unless USD JPY rises above 155. Okay. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. I'm looking for something specific on the US. That one has to do with oil. No. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Scroll up. Scroll up. We keep scrolling, we keep scrolling. All right, so when I checked the news earlier today, I saw that okay, that's very important. So 2 to 3 rate cuts from the Federal Reserve in 2024, the first being in June. The first being in June. So if they are expecting rate cuts to reduce the interest they are giving on the dollar between now and June, right? The first one being in June, what do you think that will happen to the dollar? If they're going to reduce the interest that they are offering on the dollar, what do you think will happen to the dollar? Dollar will go down. Now, if you find out that risk currencies are going up, so people are willing to take risks. They are willing to take risk. And they are willing to, instead of collecting yield from the government, which is fixed, they are willing to take risk. So if people are willing to take risk, and people are expecting the Federal Reserve to reduce interest on the dollar, what effect would that have? Throughout last year and the year before, they were increasing the interest they were giving you for holding the dollar. They were increasing the interest. And then into this year, they are no longer increasing the interest. They are thinking of reducing the interest. If you are holding dollar, what will you do with your dollar? The person that asked me that question, what will you do with your dollar? Sell, exactly. Because the interest they were paying you for holding the dollar is reducing. And now, let's say it's reducing, you're now moving to risk currencies and you're moving to equities. So instead of waiting to collect 5.5% from the US government, why not buy equities that can return, maybe if the stock keeps going up, it will return 10, 20. Why not buy gold? Gold that has gone from below 2,000, it has tapped into 2,300. Do you understand why? So all these things are not making the dollar as desirable. However, let's now move to DXY chart on the daily. Because even though this is happening in fundamentals, it is not going to happen immediately. It's going to be gradually, gradually, gradually. So let's see DXY on the daily. DXY on the daily. Okay. DXY on the daily. So on the daily, if we are saying that they're expecting rate cut, where is our shoulder? Where is our sweep? What has price done? It looks to me now that price has tapped into the fair value gap. Exactly all of that. So it has hit a resistance. That's a good place for price to start coming down. Let's see it on the 4-hour. Okay. So that's our shoulder, that's our sweep. Let's see it on the, let's see it on the 1-hour. Let's see it on the 1-hour. Okay. The most recent on the 1-hour, let's look at it from, so mind you, price has tapped into a higher time frame fair value gap. So it has grabbed that liquidity. So there's every possibility of price coming back down. Let's look at our shoulder pattern. So that's our previous shoulder. That's it right there. That's our sweep. That's our shoulder there. And that's our sweep. Right? But now I also want to look at the shoulder that was formed in the month of April. The shoulder that was formed in the month of April. Exactly there. No. Yes, that shoulder. Yes, the one you just showed us. Not there. The one before it. Yes, exactly there. 27. Yes, exactly. Okay, it was formed end of March. So that's another shoulder. That's another shoulder. That's another shoulder. And we have seen that that's the sweep. So look at the shoulder. Shoulder was formed. Then there was a large sweep, a move to the upside, and then a break to the downside. So that whole region from 104.40 to 104.80 is a place where there can be reversal. So let's put our fair value gap. Exactly. All the way. Then the flip zone. That week to the downside. No, the week on April 2nd, I think, there's a week, a flip zone that failed. That's the shoulder. Price broke through the shoulder all the way up on the 28th, all the way up. It was going up, 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 all the way up. Then it came back down and did a retest. But that retest didn't push price up. Instead of it forming a higher high, instead that retest failed. So it's another block that has failed, that has been reclaimed. That whole, not the show, not the week, the retest that failed, the buy that failed. That week there, yes, exactly. All the way down. $104.30 is 104.30. 104.30. All the way down. 104, exactly that low of that week. 104.35. Now that that week to the exactly that upside down doji. That whole region from that week. So that's another block that failed. That's another block that failed. That failed. That whole region from 104.33, all that region, it failed. It failed. So now those are places price can return to, find some measure of resistance, and then tumble down. It may tap above because there's liquidity. There's a double top there. It may even go above. It may go beyond that. That's one. It may go up exactly and clear that double top. It may. Or it may just tap into that flip zone and come down. So that's what one can look at after looking and say, okay, there's weakness on the dollar. If we see a move up to that location, can tap into it. And of course, where is it going? It's going all the way down to the opposite liquidity, the external liquidity, all the way down. So tomorrow is non-farm payroll. Where is it going? It's going right there, exactly. That's where it is likely headed to. That's where it is likely headed to. Okay, although there's an IOFED right where your chart is, but because it has grabbed the external liquidity in the higher time frame fair value gap, it's very likely this is where it wants to come to. So we can screen grab this markup and see whether price will obey this, because we have not seen a sharp move on USD JPY. Yesterday CPI came out, but there was no sharp sell. So I'm expecting a sharp sell on USD JPY, a sharp sell on USD JPY. That's what's stopping every other thing from selling off. USD JPY is very strong, it's very stubborn, and is refusing to sell off. So I'm expecting bonds to buy, and I'm expecting USD JPY to sell off. If bonds buy and USD JPY sells off, DXY is going to collapse all the way to the downside. Has this been helpful in any way, showing you the fundamentals for this morning, the fundamentals that are coming out, coupled with liquidity levels, because there's a training by 10, the guys are ready for you, so we have to end this now. But was this helpful in any way? we saw the higher time frame fair value gap. Then we came to the lower time frame and to see if there was a grab of liquidity and a break of structure. Demola, what are your thoughts on what I've just done? Oppose or agree, or you want to add?
Agree, sir.
All right then. Okay, everyone, trade safe. Tomorrow is non-farm payroll. So I'm still waiting for USD to fall, to sell. There's a time we can look at, let's look at that one very quickly on the 1 hour. Even on the daily, USD on the daily. USD on the daily. Sorry, we are taking a lot of time, but it's not every time I come on here. USD on the daily. Do you see the compression triangle that has been formed? So let's draw that trend line. Two things can happen. Only two things can happen here. See the trend line of liquidity and the fair value gap. There is diagonal liquidity there. There's diagonal liquidity there. And it's looking like price wants to climb higher. But there's an IOFED below at 149.50. At 149.50. In fact, there are so many IOFEDs. There's at 150, there's at 149. So I'm like, is this guy going to go up without grabbing this liquidity? So it's at a place where it can blast up to 155, because you saw the fundamentals saying until it reaches 155, they are not likely to do anything. So there's a bit of a challenge here. There's a bit of a challenge here. And gold is at all-time highs. So this is very interesting. We're going to have serious volatility tomorrow. Gold is at a high, USD is at a high. Is at a high, USD is at a high. So I'm really watching to see. I expect USD to break to the downside. Why? Gold has been going up since, and USD has not done any sell. But if gold sells off, USD is going to fly, grab that liquidity above 152 levels, then come back down into this. So get ready, guys. Tomorrow after non-farm payroll, that may be a good time to trade the volatility that is coming on USD. But I am expecting, if bonds go up and USD comes down, then is to sell USD consistently. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I hope this is helpful. We are going to do a value flow trading model training sometime in future. USD CHF. Be careful with USD CHF. You see, all the USD XXX pairs, they are all moving. They are not correlating right now. All the USD XXX pairs, they are not correlating. So I'm waiting for non-farm payroll to come out tomorrow, because that's a US dollar news, so that all of them will finally go in a particular direction. But of all of them, I'm looking at USD USD CHF, there was rate cut last week. There was PMI this week. So CPI this week. So I want to stay away from CHF. The only trade that I saw was CHF JPY buy yesterday, and it bought. CHF JPY buy yesterday, and it bought. The yen pairs, like you said, are better to look at. Yes, you are right. They are better to look at. If bonds start to buy, yen pairs will sell off. If bonds start to buy, yen pairs will sell off. CHF JPY has already started selling off. Remember, I told you CHF JPY is the indicator for what the yen pairs will do. There's no time. We'll look at it tomorrow. CHF JPY has already done a sharp sell-off. Euro JPY, GBP JPY, NZD JPY, they are going to follow. Let's just see CHF JPY quickly. It has done a sharp sell-off. Sharp sell-off. It has done like 70 pips since we started this conversation. Let's see it on the 15 minutes. So CHFI JPY has done a sharp sell-off. You see the sharp sell-off there on CHF JPY, right? All the other pairs have not done their sharp sell-off yet. CHF JPY is doing its own because there was a rate cut. So expect the other pairs to follow suit. Expect the other pairs to follow suit. All right? But tomorrow's NFP is what will tell us what will happen. Euro JPY has not done its own sharp sell-off. It will soon likely do its own, all right? AUD JPY. Now, remember we saw that risk is on. Risk is on. AUD pairs are moving up. So I'm not too eager to sell AUD. So I'll rather do a Euro JPY because Euro and CHF move alike. All right? Okay. But the main thing is tomorrow, non-farm payroll, when it injects liquidity and shows me what is happening on the dollar pairs, I'll know what to do. All right, then. Cheers, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. All right, guys, about 30 minutes to box strategy, right? It's happening by 10 o'clock. And if you've not yet sent the registration link to people you know need it, please do that now because I think this is a one-time stuff, right? And a lot has been put into this. It's free but not cheap. Somebody else has paid for it. Like this market color session is powered by Okta. So you should know that you want to get value for every penny that's been spent to put up this entire training. So get ready, get your writing materials ready, get your prepare your internet service, ensure it's working so that you don't have break in transmission. Also by 10 a.m. we'll be converging and then we'll kick off the training. All right. Other announcements, our bots are available. Our bots are available for sales. If you're interested in automated trading, right? You should send a WhatsApp DM and then somebody from the team is going to respond to you and we're going to respond to you. Please, the WhatsApp number again, okay? It will be typed in the comments section. I believe somebody is on the other end. It's going to be typed in the comment section, the WhatsApp number. You're going to see it about a minute or two. You're definitely going to see it in your comment section, right? That will be all for today. Also, our core peer service is available. Liche said, I've registered, haven't seen the link in my mail. Okay, don't bother, don't be worried. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. You're going to see it in the Telegram group, right? You're going to see it in the Telegram group, so don't be disturbed about that. We're sorry you've not sent the link to your mail yet. All right, thank you so much for joining today. We'll be meeting at 3 o'clock p.m. for our New York session. I'm going to meet him by 3 p.m. for our New York session. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining, everyone. Cheers and God bless. See you in class by 10 a.m.